I was wondering, as I was driving here, I saw a variety of different listing agent signs. And what about fancier signs is necessary? Do I like the nicer the house, the nicer the sign needs to be? Because I've also just seen some metal ones that look like they were like slapped together with clip art. Do listing signs matter? Are they like overrated or underrated?
I believe there's like a standard. Like you don't want to go like Lowe's. Like, like there's a certain standard but it also depends. Like if you're doing more of a luxury product, you want to have a sign that kind of reflects that. But I have regular signs. I don't have the hologram.
What is
stuff.
regular?
Like I just have
are they metal frame
like the
signs
panel signs that you just get
shove in the ground?
Well, no, they hangs from the wood.
Okay, so you got the upgrade. You don't have regular. You have a little extra bougie then.
That sounds a little fancy.
A little fancy. But
so you've got a wood post or something?
No, I don't have a wood post. I call a guy and he has a wood post. Okay,
so there we go. So you got somebody else installing your signs with a wood post, making them look fancy. Okay, cool.
So humble.
That's just regular, I'm just paying third party for this.
Yeah, I pay a third party to come in and make me look good.
Yeah, because there's no way I see you. I guarantee you, there's no way my ass is getting out in the wintertime and digging a hole to put a post in for sale sign. So I'm with you.
To me, it's more about leverage. It's more about like, I don't have time to go out.
You don't have to maintain your signs. You don't have to warehouse them. You don't have to install them. You don't have to dig them up in the cold. Man, I've tried to install signs before and the ground's frozen and you've got to bring something to unthaw it with and jam those yard signs in. No more. It's not even cost effective to do that.
No.
And when you think about the amount of time and money it takes to drive out and install your own sign, no way. I still am baffled that agents install their own signs. Yeah. To me, it is the most elementary thing on earth that you should never install your own sign. Waste of time, waste of money, and I'm with you 100%. However, listing signs don't matter. And the reason why they don't matter for sellers. Because the day of your mommy and your daddy getting in the car and driving around looking for houses and driving by a sign, gone. 96% of all buyers start their home search online, and that doesn't have anything to do with a listing sign. In fact, rules of the Board of Realtors can't even have a sign in the photo. So whether you have a sign in the photo or not in the photo doesn't really help. You know why I like listing signs? Because they help me know while I'm driving to a house on my GPS, that's the house in the neighborhood, the one with the sign out in front that I need to pull into that driveway. The only value of the listing sign for me as an agent is to know what driveway I'm pulling into when I show up to the property. However, as a seller, listen, there are two sales in a real estate transaction, and most all sales are this way. But in a real estate transaction especially, I've got two sales. I've got the buyer and the seller.
Yep.
And I need to sell the seller on why things matter. And sometimes you have to just do what the customer wants you to do because trying to convince them otherwise is a giant waste of time.
Right.
And that's where listing signs come into play. The seller will want a listing sign. Save yourself the time and energy convincing them they don't matter by just doing it. And then the buyer is the totally different sale. The house and the marketing sell. And the condition, the price, the marketing, sell the house itself. The listing sign is for the seller,
right?
To satisfy their perceived need. Now, as a business owner, don't get me wrong, I get a lot of business signs.
And that's what I was going to say. You get sign calls. You'll get sign calls. But there's been times where I'll actually sell the house before the sign is even in. Like literally, houses are selling so fast.
Yeah,
people are calling me for my sign call, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it's already sold. But I'll be more than happy to go out and show you something else. And that's where the value is on having a sign. So I guess I misunderstood the question. I thought it was like, do you want a fancy sign or do you want signs are really important. But whether or not it's like a super fancy sign or, a square, I just said mine's like a rectangle, but I do leverage it out. And so anyway.
Man, here's the thing too, Mike. We're both in the agent development business, right. Really. We both still are active in helping clients, transact real estate, and yet the largest amount of our time is really on agent development. Yeah. And the thing that, when I'm talking to an agent who's not with Keller Williams, the thing that I talk to them about a lot of times is that the brand and the branding of your sign is irrelevant. And that's the beauty of Keller Williams, is that we believe that the agent is the business and should be the focal point of the brand and the branding. And so the agent who is at that franchise of mass adoption and restriction around, hey, your sign has to be this way, but there's no benefit for the agent, right, is the one who is losing all of the value on actually being able to capitalize and monetize on the compounding benefit of what a sign does actually allow you to have as an agent. So the counter argument making with myself though then is as a team, all of our signs are unified, even if I'm not the listing agent, right? They all still have the same uniform sign. Here's where our agents as a team benefit from compounding though, and that's because whenever the call comes in, it goes directly to the team to generate that consumer capture, right? And then to set up showings, set up additional searches, and add one additional client to our database, ideally as a past client. And so, we sold 33 houses last year from listing signs and from people calling in directly about signs. So I know that they matter. They just don't matter the way everyone thinks they do.
I agree.